This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're doing a comparison between the 7-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab Android tablet and the new Motorola Xoom 10.1-inch Android tablet. Now, as you can see right now, just to outline the difference in what you're going to see in a browser, we have the New York Times homepage open in both screens. And clearly you're going to see more here because this is 1280 by 800 resolution, whereas this is 1024 by 600, the same as a netbook, which is pretty amazing to fit into a 7-inch Android tablet, but still. Text is kind of small. You're going to want to pinch and zoom to get in and out. Here there's not much need to pinch and zoom because, well, gee, everything is pretty readable. The price you pay for that? This guy is like the iPad. It's 1.5 pounds, and obviously it's a lot less portable. The Galaxy Tab you can fit in a large coat pocket or a roomy purse. And that's pretty important. Right now folks are just thinking, wow, the Xoom has the latest, greatest technology. It has a Tegra 2 1 gigahertz CPU versus the single core Hummingbird 1 gigahertz CPU in the Galaxy Tab, but portability and how you want to use it matters. Unless you're Steve Jobs and you believe there's no room in the world for a 7-inch tablet, these guys are great. You can do a lot with them and take them just about anywhere. In terms of price, of course, the Xoom costs more. It's currently $7.99 retail, $5.99 with a contract, whereas the Galaxy Tab has come down in price. Initially it was up to $6.50 retail, but now pretty much you can get it for $4.99 retail and $2.99 with a contract. So it's more affordable because it's been out for more months and it's smaller and less expensive. The other consideration, since both of these models are sold with both 3G or 3G plus upcoming 4G for the Motorola and Wi-Fi, is what carrier you want to use them with. You can buy them and just use them on Wi-Fi only if you wish, but if you are interested in having data anywhere over a mobile broadband network, the Galaxy Tab is available on all 4 major carriers, whereas the Xoom is just sold with Verizon service if you want to use 3G or upcoming 4G. In terms of specs, clearly the Motorola wins. So you can see you have a different desktop. Here you've got the Honeycomb operating system here with the new modern desktop that's designed for tablets, whereas the 7-inch Galaxy Tab is just running Android OS 2.2 Froyo. Now, Samsung did an amazing job making up for some of the phone-centric shortcomings of Android with this. Particularly, we love what they did with the address book, calendar, and things like that. And in fact, they're a little bit fancier looking even than what you still get on Honeycomb, and we'll take a look at that. Now, taking a look at the calendars here, in theory you would think that Honeycomb would be better since it's tablet-centric and Google's going to make more use of the space. Well, this is your month view here on the Xoom, and this is the really lovely month view that Samsung has designed here for Froyo. Likely, if this gets the upgrade to Honeycomb, they'll probably lose that because it seems like Honeycomb tablets are going with the straight Google experience, which means vanilla, no modifications of the applications. But you can see the day is circled here. We've got our appointments. You can see details in line right in there. And here, and this is a little bit more of a boring view. You tap on that, and then you get a nice switch to that view over here with the calendar showing up and what calendars we're using. And then you get a pop-up of the appointment itself. Not as exciting, but still quite functional. And something that's pretty neat, if we switch to week view, you can zoom in and out and compress your timeline or make it bigger on the fly. That's pretty cool. So this is nice. Gee, this is even nicer. So all is not lost if you go with Froyo here. Obviously you get some pretty nice customizations. The Xoom, however, is faster as a dual-core 1 gigahertz Tegra 2 versus the 1 gigahertz Hummingbird that's been used in the Samsung Galaxy Tab, same CPU that's in high-end Galaxy S Samsung phones. This guy just is incredibly responsive, from everything from zipping through applications to launching applications to loading websites. You're going to get a faster experience on the Motorola Xoom. In terms of multimedia, the Xoom will have Flash soon. We're doing this comparison just a couple of days after the Xoom came out, and Adobe is going to be releasing Flash 10.2 for the Xoom, and given the dual-core Tegra 2 and what we've seen in terms of performance differences, you'll notice that it will play Flash a lot better. Samsung wins for having Media Hub, though. There's no way really to rent or download movies legitimately on the Xoom right now, whereas you've got the nice Media Hub application. Now, Honeycomb hasn't been out for even a week yet, so there aren't a huge number of Honeycomb optimized applications, but I'm sure that they'll be flooding the market just as Android apps of old did and iPad apps when the iPad came out. So one of the bigger selling points for the Motorola Xoom and Honeycomb is you're buying into the future what applications offer. Now, some are available right now. We've got Flickster Movies right here, and you can see You've got a really nice interface here that gives you information and makes use of the larger display. You can scroll through movies over here and tap on something over there and get a synopsis. You can play movie trailers that are much higher quality. Whereas this is a much more phone-centric interface, because really the application was designed for the phone. You tap on that, you're going to get a lower quality video than you're going to get over here, because they've set up higher quality video feeds for previews as well. And then the Android market itself looks different under Honeycomb. Take a look at that. Now, there's a big difference obviously here. Under Honeycomb you get this cool kind of scrollable through self-refreshing list of some hot applications. You get Android tablet apps right here, top free apps. It's very nice with independent scrolling windows. And then categories over here, and so you're interested in Angry Birds. That's what you see. Pretty sweet screens. You can slide sideways like so. You can even see an embedded video, reviews, see more reviews, that kind of thing. And this is just your basic Android market like you would see on a phone. Pick an application there, and you have the independent scrolling window and some of the same features there, but much nicer presentation. So that's some of what you're going to get if you go with the Honeycomb tablet. And the last Honeycomb specific comparison we're going to do in terms of software is going to be the YouTube player, because YouTube player is simply marvelous under Honeycomb. So here we have the YouTube player on the Samsung Galaxy Tab, which is pretty much what you're going to see on your phone. That is not really exciting, though it is nice to obviously to watch videos, especially in high quality, on a 7-inch display versus a phone display. And this is the wonderful creation that Google has made here for Honeycomb with your wall of videos, like so. Quite a different presentation and something that requires Honeycomb. In terms of specs, otherwise, both have Wi-Fi, though the Xoom does have dual-band Wi-Fi, and for those of you who use the higher spectrum on your Wi-Fi router, they have Bluetooth. The Xoom has a much more complete set of Bluetooth profiles, however, they're very limited on the Tab for some reason, and they both have GPS. Front and rear cameras as well, though the Xoom works with Google Talk video chat, which is pretty cool and one of the nicest things that we've seen since FaceTime came out for the Apple iPhone. So that's our quick video comparison, and you can visit our website to read the detailed written comparison as well between the Samsung Galaxy Tab and the Xoom. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Xoom and Galaxy Tab.